Okay, we've covered so many examples of judicial activism on the angle over the years. You all know that I'm a lawyer as well. But this judge on the First Circuit in Boston takes the cake. All right, a few months ago, Judge Brian Murphy, a Biden nominee, decided to play the role of DHS secretary when he issued a preliminary injunction to stop the Trump administration from sending illegal aliens to third-party countries where they have no ties. Now, this judge's order came down as a DHS plane was already en route with at least 8 illegals, all with criminal histories, to South Sudan. Now, the plane stopped to refuel in Djibouti, and Murphy issued another ruling ordering the Trump administration to immediately abide by the injunction and to stop mid-trip. So over the past month or so, the illegals have reportedly been held at U.S. facilities in Djibouti. So the Trump administration appealed to the Supreme Court, which finally issued its ruling late yesterday, lifting that district court judge's preliminary injunction, meaning the administration may now quickly move illegals out of the United States into third-party countries. But, and there's a big but, in a shocking act of defiance by this district judge, Murphy pretended essentially that the Supreme Court's ruling didn't change anything and is still trying to compel the Trump administration to stop its deportations. So late last night, the Solicitor General John Sauer filed a motion for what's called clarification to the Supreme Court. This is very rare, to force Judge Murphy to follow its ruling, with the additional request, and I love this, that the judge either be recused from future involvement in this case or be required to get pre-clearance from the Supreme Court before he can issue any other injunctions in this matter. Okay, so all of that itself was unprecedented. And recusal, that would be nice. But it's time for Congress to step in here. This is it. These lawless judges, one by one, should be impeached. Judge Murphy abdicated his role to interpret the law and is essentially working for the resistance. The bottom line is when one judge can derail immigration policy, defy the highest court in the land, and get away with it, we don't really have a constitutional republic. We have judicial tyranny. Enough is enough. Joining us now to weigh in, Congressman Brandon Gill. Congressman, the SG called Murphy's action a lawless act of defiance that disrupts sensitive diplomatic relations and slams the brakes on the executive's lawful efforts to effectuate third country removals. What is going on here?
Well, thanks for having me on. You know, the reality is that Democrats do not want deportations no matter what. And remember, the biggest issue of the past election cycle was illegal immigration and deportations. The American people resoundingly said that we have seen lawless mass illegal immigration into the country. Now we want mass deportations. And these judges have taken it upon themselves to act as commander-in-chief and thwart the will of the people, thwart the president, and ultimately have made themselves arbiters of what is and isn't falls within the purview of the president. I think it's wrong. I do think it's impeachable.
Yeah, I mean, but this judge didn't sidestep SCOTUS, by the way.
Yep.
Totally defied SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, and is pretending that this order to force the administration to stop this deportation somehow can exist if his preliminary injunction is lifted. I mean, this is a level of defiance. It's total lawlessness, and yet he'll be celebrated at Harvard Law School, Yale, Stanford, all the top law schools. He'll probably be considered a hero in the fall.
Oh, they will, and that's because Democrats know that their political playbook is the mass importation of illegal aliens who affect congressional apportionment in Democrats' favor at the expense of Republicans. And these are people that Democrats want to be given amnesty. That's their words, not mine, and eventually be given voting rights. And Democrats are betting that they're going to be perpetual Democrat voters for life. And that's why these judges are even going so far as in this case to defy the Supreme Court.
So we're waiting, and the Supreme Court's decision on this ruling, to be short, it's going to come down any moment.
Yep.
I can't wait till it, because I know it's going to be a scorcher. But Judge Murphy wrote in this district court order last month, it turns out that having immigration proceedings in another continent is harder and more logistically cumbersome than defendants anticipated. The court recognizes that the class members at issue have criminal histories, but that does not change due process. Congressman, did these illegals get the process they were due, or is he inventing process that they are not due?
They're inventing process as a means of stopping the president from doing what he said he was going to do. If you're an illegal alien in the United States, the only process you are due is deportation. You had no right to be here to begin with. You need to leave.
And the president has enormous leeway on the issue of immigration, as you know. Congressman, thank you very much. Let's start impeaching these judges.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.